they would immediately take a step back.
And Kufis drops them both. Hornets leading by 7. There's the dish to Biombo. Here's Neal. 5 points in the game. The fader. Can't get it to go. And so that's the end of the first quarter. Offensively, pretty stagnant. Hornets ahead, leading by 7. 2K Sports back in a moment here at the Time Warner Cable Arena in Charlotte.
Tune in Thursday, November 6th. Tim Duncan and the San Antonio Spurs take on Dwight Howard and the Houston Rockets. Don't miss it.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And when you consider how Charlotte is doing, Stephen Clark, what are your thoughts?
Solid first quarter for this club. They came out strong and they put together some nice momentum here.
Steve, I like the looks they've gotten on offense. A lot of good ones.
Grizzlies trail by 7. It was a little strange to see a coaching change for the Grizzlies last year after they were a playoff team, but it worked out for them.
Yeah, I was surprised by that as well. I thought Lionel Hollins did a terrific job. A lot of people questioned what they were thinking, making that switch, but they were able to keep the momentum going after losing Gasol for a segment of the season due to a knee injury.
Inside, Cody Zeller and Bismack Biyombo. And Stevenson is out there at Brian Roberts. And it's Neal in at the small forward. So that's the lineup for Charlotte.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And for the Grizzlies, changing their head coach prior to last season, it can be a big risk, but they needed to do something, they felt, and it worked out well for them.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And if we see a few more of them, this game could be in danger of getting out of hand quickly.
Well, I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Hornets leading by 7.
Well, with Memphis, when you change coaches, particularly after a playoff run, it doesn't always work out in your favor. Denver found that out last year, but things went well for the Grizzlies even after a slow start.
The Grizzlies shooting well, 50% from the floor. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, Al Jefferson, a veteran leader, and he's changed the Hornets locker room. A former coach, Doc Rivers, said, "You know the people in your life who just bring sunshine? That's Al. He brings it wherever he goes." And guys, Big Al said of his young teammates, "I don't talk much, but they really wanted to listen."
Doris just an easygoing guy. Great presence. Thank you.
And the generous spirit, too, Kevin, is Al Jefferson. I mean, in Utah, he never hesitated to mentor their young guys.
Zach Randolph is checked in for Memphis. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Outside Conley. Feeds it to Gasol. Right block shot. Almost, but it rolls out. Kept alive. No good with the layup. Hornets leading by 12. And a fast break now for the Hornets. Here's Neal. Count that one. Neal's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, I tell you what, they're turning this game into a drag race, sprinting out for easy, fast break baskets.
Going on a nice run here, and defensively, you got to force them to operate in the half court. This won't get it done.
Gasol, no good, unable to end this run.
Well, Marc Gasol missed some time last season with injury, but you can see just how important he is to a team when he's gone. The Grizzlies were nowhere near as imposing when he was sidelined by injury.
The Grizzlies trail by 16. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now here's Randolph. His last outing, he had 8 points. Can't hit from in close.
And for Marc Gasol, last season, a grade 2 MCL sprain. No surgery required, but he did miss 20 games while recovering. Memphis struggled during his absence. This is tough to stop if you're the defense. I mean, they've been absolutely on fire from behind that three-point line, and the way they space the floor, it's hard to get to those shooters.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. And last season for Marc Gasol, a bit of a downturn with his numbers.
Yeah, his rebounding fell off a bit, as did his shooting percentages. We'll see how he bounces back this season.
Catching up on the changes for Charlotte. Al Jefferson's checked in for Bismack Biyombo. Henderson comes in for Gary Neal. And Walker subbed in for Brian Roberts. Now here's Lee. Got a piece of it. Walker dishes to Stevenson. For the
Wow, what a throwdown. Look at that athletic play. Incredible. Well, as they continue to dominate, you wonder just how much higher this lead might get.
I think it really could get out of hand, and you can credit their defense just as much as their offense for that.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Yes, guys, over that last break, I listened to Dave Yeager address his team. He told them to always have their eyes up, always be looking for passing lanes and ways to get the ball into the low post. That was the brunt of his message. He also wants to see a patient offense, work for the shot, move the ball around, and as he told them, quote, if you don't see a good shot, find someone who does. Guys, they've got a decent hole to dig themselves out of, but still a lot of time left to do it. We'll see if those adjustments help.
Thanks again, Doris.
Mike Conley, a lightning-quick lefty, has never been an all-star, but certainly in the conversation as a two-way player who's been a cornerstone for the Memphis Grizzlies.
And for Conley, drafted 4th overall after 1 season at Ohio State. He's gotten better and better, Clark, with each passing season in the NBA.
And that's testament to his work ethic and his approach to getting better. Last season was his best yet, up to scoring while maintaining his efficiency, and I think he continues to have much better basketball ahead of him.
He hits the second from the line.
Analytics has become a huge part of the NBA, and one element of that jumps out at me is basically the cameras that track every movement of every player and can provide info on when exactly a player gets tired to how much of their time on the floor they are actually running instead of standing around.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Hornets.
They've been making some really nice passes out there, excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And we're also seeing a lot of fast break hoops, so this team doing a nice job getting easy points.
And that one falls for Mike Conley. And the Hornets making a change here. Williams is checked in. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. Hornets leading by 19 points. To the wing right side. And Walker kicks to Henderson. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Henderson's got 9 points. And back to the camera system you were talking about, some teams using it more than others, but they are starting to find and use all sorts of data, Steve, from those cameras.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear how different teams are using that technology. Some teams use it to check on the club's spacing, so they'll see how many times a guy is dribbling the ball compared to the season before. That's what the Celtics did with Rondo. But it's really interesting. It's a tremendous amount of data to process, but the trick is making it work, making it mean something.
And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Oh, this is getting ridiculous. They can't possibly keep this run going much longer.
I tell you what, Steve, it's already lasted longer than I thought possible.
Now here's Conley. 5 points in the game. Beyond the arc. That is good. Conley's got 8.
But it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
And Walker kicks to Anderson. Charlotte moving it around. Passes to Williams. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Zach Randolph.
Well, what better way to retire the Bobcats name than to go out and make the playoffs for only the second time under that nickname. Good job by Charlotte last year, and now it's back to being the Hornets.
And that one misses. And although Charlotte Clark got knocked out in 4 against the Heat, they had some good games last year in that postseason.
Well, they did, and the injury to Al Jefferson, though, Kevin, really kind of sabotaged their ability to really compete with the Heat. So they weren't able to break the postseason winless streak, but the team is certainly headed in the right direction.
And the foul on Al Jefferson. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And another foul would give him 3 before the half, something to keep our eyes on.
Allen drives in. Here's Udrich. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. Williams has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Shoots from 12. It's rebounded by Memphis. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Here's Randolph. Williams with the block. To the middle. And it's slammed in by Stevenson. A free run to the hoop and some thunder on the finish.
Not exactly the way the D would have drawn that one up.
And when you got the space, you might as well throw it down. That's what I always used to do.
Now here's Randolph. He's got 6. Allen passes to Randolph. 6 on the shot clock. Allen dishes to Randolph. And there's the rejection. And again, Charlotte running the court in transition. And Walker gets it to go on the assist by Henderson. Henderson's got 3 assists in the game. Tipped away. And a fast break now for the Hornets. The finish. Oh!
How about that basketball,
Wasn't that
fan?
beautiful?
Wow. I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that's not going to be able to continue if they hope to get back into this game, Clark. It's a deflating play for your morale.
Here's Udrich after the basket by Charlotte. Allen with the screen for Conley. Clock at 6. Kufis inside. He's guarded by Williams. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. The Grizzlies shooting their 5th free throw of the game here. Charlotte making a switch here. Neal's checked in. Vince Carter, he's checked in for the Grizzlies.
Well, Kosta Kufis was a player the Grizzlies had coveted for a couple of seasons. They ended up trading Jarrell Arthur for him. And I like what they got. A starting caliber center, a good value on his contract, excellent defender, really good trade for Memphis.
And out of bounds as the Grizzlies gain possession.
21 seconds on the shot clock.
32 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. And Udrich kicks to Carter. Outside, Walker. That's good. Walker's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
This is really the story of the game here. They've been excellent from behind the arc.
And it's Carter penetrating, and he finishes nicely on the layup.
Great move to the hoop, and I love the finger roll finish.
Walker with it. From deep. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. The Hornets on top, running away with it. 2K Sports back in a moment here at the Time Warner Cable Arena in Charlotte.